This week's recommendation has been requested, Lewis, by many, many people in our audience for the last few weeks, and I am now ready to recommend the documentary film Cowspiracy. Cowspiracy is a documentary produced and directed by Kip Anderson and Keegan Kuhn, and it looks at the impact of animal agriculture on the environment. And they actually go around and talk to a number of different environmental groups. And when they want to talk about the impact of animal agriculture, in other words, the amount of water and resources required to produce each pound of beef, for example, they sort of line it up as that there's some kind of conspiracy that none of these environmental organizations want to talk about that. Now, whether it's a conspiracy or whether they're just ignorant to the realities of the carbon footprint of animal agriculture, I'm not really sure. But in any case, the film is very interesting. It was initially crowdfunded on Indiegogo. A recently released new cut of the documentary was produced by Leonardo DiCaprio. That's on Netflix now. This is an interesting documentary because it makes great points, Lewis, about the realities of animal agriculture, and it points out mathematically that if you shorten your showers to use less water every day, over the course of a year, that's a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of water required to grow and feed and deliver to you the amount of beef, for example, that the average meat eater eats in the United States. At the same time, I would encourage people, after you watch the documentary, to do more research about some of the claims made by the film, because there have been attempts, and you can decide whether you think they've been successful or not, at debunking some of the claims that the documentary makes. So it's an absolutely fascinating topic, and I would encourage everybody to absolutely watch the film. And there's really no denying, Lewis, that meat eating has a huge carbon footprint and a huge impact on our environment, and then do additional research to see what else you can uncover, because there is certainly more to it than just what the film presents.
Yeah, regardless of what the actual numbers are, there's no denying that it is not an efficient or a logical system. And, I'm not against eating meat altogether, but it just, our current system is just not working.
I eat red meat very rarely, and last week when we were at this conference in Las Vegas, we were taken to a couple of very nice steak restaurants, and I had two steaks in a week, and I realized that was probably the first time I had two steaks in a week for as long as I could remember. I can't remember the last time I had two steaks in a week, and I haven't had steaks since. I mean, my meat consumption has gone down drastically.
And I think that should be the plan here. I think Americans just need to cut way down on the amount of red meat or meat we're eating in general. And we can have small farms and just consume less, and we'd be in a much better place.
DavidPakman.com/recommendations is where you can see all of my recommendations. Again, today the recommendation is the documentary film Cowspiracy.